Welcome back, everyone, to the Kansas City Royals franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Last episode, we took care of the custom prospects being drafted. Those would be patron prospects, plus your guys' open submission prospects. Those are free prospects. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to win contests or donate on Patreon. You don't got to do nothing. Just submit your player through an open submission form, and those players specifically will be rated a 60 overall and a C potential player. For year number 2, we had actually 17 players that fit within this caliber. And we did actually have a nice mix of starting pitching, relief pitching, and position players that would fit this bill. 60 overall players plus your C potential. And you can see that with Masamune Date from Japan. So pretty cool that we kind of got these players to be into our series. Very wide range of names and creativity that you guys have. I really do appreciate it and love it. So if you guys want your custom prospects to possibly be taken for year number 3, open submission for year number 3 is available and ready to go. So that form is live. So you guys can go ahead and click on that in the description and the pinned comment below, made by me. I would prefer if you guys made a comment about your player's name and position, and then if you want to submit your player here through open submission form, that's the one way that you can submit a player is through the form. So don't think that a comment is going to get it done. Make sure you guys are going actually into the form, filling it out, and that's why you go make sure that you guys get in. So I will say that in year 2, like I mentioned, we only had 17 open submission prospects. If we have less than 30, you guys are definitely going to make it in. If we have like 50, 60, you might not make it in, okay? So it's all going to be random at that point. If you have 30 on the dot, you guys are all getting in. If you got 40, I might end up making those. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? But 17, definitely, you guys all got in, and I'm sure that we'll see you throughout the series. Now, if you guys do want me to send you a screenshot of your player, make sure you're requesting that on Twitter. I can send you a screenshot, or through Discord I can do that as well. So that's one way to get a hold of me, or through email I can send you a screenshot of your player so you kind of have an idea of where he is and where he's going and what he looks like and what his attributes are, things like that. So a little bit of a recap. We did sign Jose Berrios on a pretty nifty contract, $26 million per season. At 28, he'll be 31 by the time that he's done with us, and I think that will be a nice time to kind of let him go. And of course, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens with Paxton and Cueto. They're going to be gone after this season anyway. But really, this kind of is the bridge, in my opinion. We've got a lot of young pitching with us right now with Lynch, Bubic, Lacey, Kowar, Cavalli. Like, you guys name it, you can see it up on the list here. We have a lot of young pitching, but our team really overperformed in year number 1. That really signaled to me that we were ready to make moves to get to the playoffs and potentially win a World Series here. And that's what we tried to do for year number 2. That's what we're going to try to do for year number 3. So I know that some people out there that are watching this might have a different opinion, that we probably feel like we're blocking some of our youth here, which I would agree with you, we are, because we do have a goal that's right ready in front of us to win a World Series with this team that we've concocted up. So I think this is a good mix right now. So we did acquire Jose Berrios, and the other big acquisition was getting Ketel Marte. So Ketel Marte is actually making $16.8 over 4 years. This is a huge contract we might pay for in the long run. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that, you know what, Ketel Marte at an 88 and an A, if he doesn't perform in the first 2 seasons, and we don't win something out of this, it could be seen as a wasted contract. It could be seen as a wasted opportunity by acquiring a guy like this that's making 16.8 through actually 5 years. It's a 5-year contract. Wow, so 2023 all the way to 2027. So, you got to go for it, and these guys want some security. So Ketel Marte is going to be here for a while. He's actually not going to play center field for us. He will be playing left field and right field. Now, the thing is, Mondesi will start at center, but with Marte, I know if I switch him over here to left, it's gonna mess up with his secondary position. So we're gonna keep him right there slotted at center, but he will be moving to left field, and we'll figure out what we want to do with Benintendi. I think we're gonna move Benintendi to designated hitter. We'll trade Jorge Solaire at spring training because he is kind of a net drain on us right now. That 223 batting average, 24 home runs. It's a far cry from what he did in year number 1 for us. 44 dingers, 101, had a 2019 resurgence, basically. 2020 was kind of a lost season for everyone with COVID crap, but 24 homers. I want to, maybe we see how he does in spring training, right? If he sucks in spring training, if he continues to hit 220, I think it's time that we got to figure out how to move on from him. So let's go ahead and simulate to spring training and get started with year number 3. So this is a matchup that I want to see actually Miles Hendricks pitch. So I think that that's going to be a pretty cool matchup here, and I want to give you guys a little snapshot of what he's looking like here. So Miles Hendricks is a 79, 22 years old, 99 velo. It's going to be a tough test for us. I wanted to get some gameplay of him last season in his rookie year, but we just could not find a matchup that made sense. And I think this will be a kind of a cool matchup to take him on. So what's funny about Texas is they've got Miles Hendricks here snug in between Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. So former teammates in Verlander and Scherzer. Now, one other thing here about the Rangers, they do have a player, Douglas Taylor, who's also a custom player. And I think it's kind of cool that now you've got 2 patron prospects here teamed up with one another in the American League. We could potentially face these guys in some playoff matchups, so it might be a little bit of a rivalry brewing here in the future. I also wanted to update you guys on what the Pirates are doing. Yeah, crazy, right? The Pittsburgh Pirates. But Aiton Letterman won Rookie of the Year last season. You can see his stats here: 18 homers, 23 stolen bags, 278, 341 OBP. That's a really, really good production there, good performance. And then you also have an outfielder by the name of Braden Leroy. So he was the top drafted player of last season's draft. Another custom prospect, another patron prospect, 19 years old, 75 overall. He should be up in spring training, in my opinion. He should be making the call. So taking a look at what we're looking like here for spring training. We've got Berrios, Singer, Montgomery, Lynch, Bubich, Lacey, Paxton, Kowar, Cavalli. I was really hoping that Kate Cavalli would be able to come up, but he was not on the 40-man roster. So what the CPU does is that they only take your 40-man roster up to the spring training. So I would have liked to move Carlos Hernandez down, get him off the 40-man, but I'm sure that somebody out there would try to nab him up, and we're just not about that life. So let's just keep Shane Baz down there, Cade Cavalli down there, and we'll see how they do actually in AAA. Corey Snavely was actually our first draft pick in last season's draft. I would have liked to see him at some point, but not on the 40-man. I think it's fine. We'll probably move him up to AA instead of the single A. I'm going to rework a lot of this so that I make sure that our prospects, our top guys, are actually getting experience. Now, again, I can't actually do that for your guys' custom players, which kind of stinks, but, you know, I can't make that work. Like a guy like, let's see, Bryce Michaels, right? So he's down in single A. It's gonna have to come down to if the CPU is gonna be able to figure out how they're gonna move a guy up like that. So if you're looking at this and you're kind of thinking this is unfortunate, I would agree with you, but I can't actually move your player up. So it's got to come down to the CPU actually making that happen. But guys, actually, let's go ahead and get into the matchup, right? So let's do this thing. Let's get it underway. Jose Berrios against Miles Hendricks. Let's get it started. All right, guys, let's get this thing underway. So the first half of the video here, that was pre-recorded. Now this I'm doing live here tonight, and yeah, you can tell the difference between my voice, right? So I did catch a little something from my daughter, so she did get a little something, I'm not sure. It's not COVID, so nobody freak out. I know I probably, being the worrywart that I am, probably freaked out a little bit, but I'm good. Everything is all fine and dandy, but we'll get through this, and we'll be fine. So if I'm sounding a little bit under the weather, I promise you guys I'm good. Just kind of bear with me through the commentary here today, because I do promise you guys videos in certain days, right? Upload schedules got to maintain, so I got to get videos out when I say they're going to be out. So here we go. You got to just power through it sometimes. Jose Berrios, our multi-million-dollar man, our ace of the staff now, taking over for Brady Singer. So, you know, Brady Singer's a young guy when we're trying to win a World Series, and I just really thought that maybe he needed to be kind of that number 2, maybe number 3 type of pitcher in this rotation, and Jose Berrios is allowing us to do that. So he's going to be the ace of the staff so far. So good, setting down Nate Lowe here to get a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down, actually 4 up, 3 down to get us out of the inning. So Willie Calhoun actually had that double. We're going to be taking on Miles Hendricks, a custom prospect pitcher from last year. Last year was his first year in the bigs, a rookie season that was, a little bit less than stellar, right? 2-7. Needs some better defense around him. I think he's been a pretty solid pitcher for his rookie year. And so far with Mondesi on first base, Javi Baez comes up and makes the youngster pay here. Try to throw a splitter low and away, and Javi was just all over it. That's going to be a 2-run shot, 374 feet. And Hendricks is feeling, a little bit sad about that. It could have been a solo home run, maybe totally would have changed the entirety of the at-bat had been no runners on. But instead, we had the error there, leading to Mondesi at first base with the dropped out. So it would have been a solo home run. And again, maybe it would have changed the entire at-bat against Javi Baez. You just don't know. But either way, Berrios comes up here in the top of the second. He sets down his man, Blankenhorn. And then he's also going to get Sergio Alvarado, a blue-chip prospect in year number 1's draft class, to fly out, or I should say, line out to right field. Brian Hayes in the bottom of the second inning is going to ground out here. So 2 quick outs here for Hendricks in the bottom of the second. Michael Taylor coming up, setting a long fly ball there to deep center field. A little low pitch there again. And we're hitting Hendricks pretty hard here. But so far, only 2 runs to show for it. And that's really going to do it for Jose Berrios here in this outing. So I'm going to let him get 2 innings. We're going to work Daniel Lynch into this game, try to see what he's got. He's a 79 overall pitcher so far in this year number 3 of this series. And I think it's kind of time for him to really come up here into the big league level and really make an impact for us. Probably as a bullpen arm, for sure. But here is a base hit right past Brian Hayes, but Benintendi cuts this thing off, and he's in foul territory, guns this thing to second, and the tag is applied. He's out. What a throw by Benintendi. I think he's only done that one time. He's only really done that one time in this series, and it's really nice to see him do that here in spring training, as we've kind of dogged him a little bit about his defense, really. We're talking about maybe moving him to a designated hitter versus playing out there in the field. But he does get a double here, and then Javi Baez comes up as we move the runner over from second to third. Javi Baez comes up and sends a double here to right field. So back-to-back doubles for the Royals gets us to our 3rd run, and then a 2-run jack here for Ketel Marte. Another big free agent signing for the Royals. That's 2 home runs now for Miles Hendricks. He keeps trying to throw that split finger, and we just know where it's going to be. In the show, when you're trying to hit, it's not where the ball is. It's where you think it's going to be based on the break and the movement. And Miles Hendricks, we pretty much figured him out here. That split finger, his worst pitch, actually. So you guys know that, right? So X is your best pitch, and really circle or square is your worst pitch. Maybe R1 if you've got more than 4. He keeps trying to throw that thing, and we just figured him out. So his night is over. Adolis Garcia is going to hit a 2-run homer. Benintendi, not trying to avoid the action here, but Benintendi almost robbed him of the home run. It looked like it in gameplay there, but on further review and instant replay, it just wasn't even close. So Benintendi, good effort out there, but just came up a little bit short. All right, guys, so Texas loses. Final score, 5-3. Royals are going to win this thing. And all things considered, I think we did pretty well against these Texas Rangers. And really, I say that because we look at this lineup, and it looks can be deceiving. This is actually a good hitting ball club here. You got Nate Lowe, you got Josh Jung, you got Sergio Alvarado. I mean, it's a pretty decent team out in Texas. They're going to be better than they were last season. I can almost bank on that. You got Adolis Garcia, who just hit that 2-run home run against us. So, yeah, this team's going to be taking a big step forward. And I wouldn't doubt that they're going to make a run in that AL West. So spring training schedule, I'm not going to play more than just one game. I think we've pretty much figured out what our team is going to look like here. We've really hashed this out in the live stream, what we wanted to do with Mondesi playing center field, Baez moving back to short. You got Ketel Marte hitting in the 4-hole. I think he's going to probably bounce around from number 3, 4, 5. I don't think he's going to go any lower than that. Definitely not. You're paying him the big bucks. You want him to be able to play and produce and driving some runs for us in this offense. This is what we really missed, right? So we needed another big bat in this lineup, and we needed an ace caliber pitcher in the 90s. We needed that 90 overall stud, and I think we got that with Jose Berrios. Now, he actually pitched 24 and some odd thirds of innings, and it didn't produce too bad for spring training. You take these numbers with a grain of salt. Very limited sample sizes across the board. I believe that Daniel Lynch was the question mark for this pitching staff, and I wanted to see what he was going to do here in spring. He only got 2 2/3 innings pitched, so he only pitched in one game. This is really unfortunate the CPU just did not want to give him more work. Now, we are looking at trade opportunities for Jorge Solaire. It's a loaded outfield for us. We figured out our DH is going to be Andrew Benintendi, and I just don't have a need for a $6 million outfielder that's going to hit 220. So we go out and we acquire the custom prospect, Leron Letterman. So yeah, I'm kind of going after another Letterman here. Now, as you guys know that I've been following this series up to date here, the Rookie of the Year from the National League last year for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Untitled Letterman. This is his cousin, a 60 overall C potential player. I think I'm going after the gene pool here at this point. So I kind of want that. I want to see how he does there at the AA level. I think he's going to produce nicely for us. And I'm not against bringing you guys over here as custom players. I think it's going to be kind of cool to get you guys into this series, at least in gameplay with us in our franchise. And you know what? I didn't need another outfielder like that. And as the famous words of Billy Beane to David Justice,
"Oh, you're special."
You're paying me $7 million a year, man, so yeah, maybe I am a little bit.
No, man, I ain't paying you 7. Yankees are paying half your salary. That's what the New York Yankees think of you. They're paying you $3.5 million to play against them.
Where you going with this, Billy?
well, you see, Jorge, it's kind of like this. I'd rather have you go to the Detroit Tigers, be a net drain in their lineup. Easy work for our pitching staff. AL Central rival. That's the strategy. Guys, I'll take on the Texas Rangers in opening day next time I see ya. Leave a like if you like this thing. As always, thank you for watching, and peace.